What's going on, and welcome back. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. We will be replacing a broke mainspring on this Hamilton 16 size 22 jewel 4992B, also known as the Navigator's watch around World War II. I am aware I already have a broken mainspring video on my channel. However, this pocket watch is a little different and I thought I would share with you. Let's get into it. First, we're going to go ahead and let down the mainspring. Get all the tension out of it. We're going to go ahead, I already removed the bezel, and I'm just going to take off the hands so that way nothing gets bent or damaged. Because right now we're going to go ahead and use the hand removers. These are the ones I occasionally use. Also use a Bergeron dial cover so that it doesn't scratch or mar the dial. Then we're going to need to remove the two screws that hold the movement into the case. Now, the main reason I am making this video as I remove these screws here is the fact that this watch had already been cleaned, serviced, running, keeping good time. However, the mainspring did break as I was winding it. And thought instead of ripping it all apart, I'd show you guys a quick video how to get to just the mainspring. Now this Hamilton is held in with a screw that holds down the stem, and you got to release this screw just a little bit so then you can slip the stem out. However, you do need to remove the bow out of your way. After you do that, make sure you get a movement holder that won't scratch the dial at all if you're not going to remove the dial. Now we're going to need to go ahead and take apart the bridge for the second hand pinion. And that bridge also houses the 22nd jewel for this 4992B. You do want to take your time, you don't want to scratch it, kind of work it at different angles, and that way you can get it up. Some are easier than others. This one was on there a little tight, but with some patience we can get it. Next, we're going to need to remove the second hand pinion. Get that out of the way. And we're just going to keep that spring there. We don't need to remove that. Now we're going to need to move the sweep seconds wheel, and I just got some hand remover and pop that up. You can go at it from one side like I did. However, you can get two and go in from both sides and just get it up. Just be careful not to mar the movement at all with that. Just cleaning up some dust and lint around the jewel. Now to get some mainspring, all we have to do is take off these three screws that hold down the plate, and then we're going to take the screw that holds down the winding gear, get that out of there, take the gear out, and then we're going to take the plate off. And as you can see, it removes our mainspring barrel. Now there's different ways to remove it. I like to put mine on my anvil and just push down on it at different spots, and it just pushes it from the arbor and pops the top right off. And as you can see, there is our mainspring. A little trick I like to do is take the new mainspring and set it next to the old one, and that way it also is a quick and easy reminder of which way the mainspring needs to go in at. And that's one way to do it. It just pops right out. And then here is the broken piece that came off. Go ahead, clean the inside. I threw it in my ultrasonic cleaner for a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. I'm going to use some Mobius grease, some 8200. I'm going to apply a couple small dabs around the bottom so that while the mainspring winds and goes down, that it will help spread it around and have less friction. Now what you want to do is you want to line up the grooves just right, and sometimes you can pop it in and get lucky. Other times you might need a mainspring winder out to help get it into the groove there. However, I got lucky. First try, I'll take it. And it went right there into the groove. Very happy with that. Can't complain. Now this was the Mobius oil that I used to line some of the bottom. We're going to just put a couple drops here and there. I kind of do it at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 position. And then let's get the arbor in there. Now we're going to go ahead and put the top in, and we want the flat end to go aligned with the mainspring tab that is coming up. There's one that looks like a half moon and one that looks like a rectangle. You want to use the rectangle to line that up with the mainspring that you just put in there. Snap it in there, and we're ready to go. Now we just want to put it together how we took it apart. Put the mainspring barrel in first. Get that in there. Now we're going to want to pop on the plate. Get our 3 screws in there. Tighten those up. Next, we're going to put on our winding gear. Get that into place. Get our screw on that. And the good thing is, contrary to the thumbnail, I did not have to use the hammer. So I was very proud of myself on that one. Next, we're going to put back on our sweep seconds wheel. This should just press on very easily, kind of just like a hand. Next, we're going to put in our second hand pinion. Set that right on top of that spring. And then we're going to put in our bridge for our second hand pinion. Get that aligned in there, get the screw in there, and tighten that up. And like I said before, if you've already cleaned and oiled and serviced it and it was running, it's just a mainspring, this is just a nice, easy fix to get that done. And here's an example of the hacking mechanism working. As soon as you pull that stem out, it will stop. That way everyone could sync their watches so that everyone was on the same time. Very cool feature. Now to get it back into the case, line up the 60 with the top. Make sure our stem goes in. It does. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that stem so that it will not slip out. And then we're going to put our case screws back in. Tighten those up. And as you can see, the watch is very happy with that nice alloy mainspring that we put in. And it is running and keeping perfect time. Now get our hands on. Hour first, minute second, and seconds third. And just make sure no hands rub or not engage properly. And everything's working as it should. Only thing left to do is put on the bezel on the front and the back cover, and you're ready to go. As always, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. Until the next video, see you later.